cute are you in your Adidas moment?
Q just walked in the room.
Yes, and I'm here for this red-black moment, red-white moment, just saying. Back to you.
I'm like, I should have started the slide a few minutes ago.
Oopsie.
Oopsie poopsie. Anywho, so welcome to this morning's reality. Real
Good.
itty.
Gosh, my hair. I could have zhuzhed her up. Anyway, let's get into it.
Get into it. Gots to do it. So, Jennifer's going to keep her mask on today because I went to a concert last night. Now, cool thing about that concert is that they required vaccinations and rapid tests for every single person who walked in last night, which was neat. They had not done that at the other previous concert that I gone to, but it is band dependent. So kudos to you, Maroon 5, for requiring safety at your shows.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So, Learning Moment 1, go.
I don't remember it. Oh, the qualified tenants. The same way you qualify buyers. The old saying is that buyers are liars. No, they're just misinformed. So I'm not going to say tenants are liars. However, I have experienced a couple of people lately who have told me that their credit and everything is great. Everything is good to go. They shouldn't have any issues. And then they apply, not we. They apply for a property. And their stuff doesn't come back as clean as they say. So it's a waste of time. Because I can't get them approved. So, third-party websites. MySmartMove.com. That's what I use for my landlords. $30. I think it's like $30 or $35. Just have them do it in advance before you take them out. It's just like having a buyer do the loan application with the lender before you take them out. Pre-qual. Why not? What's the difference? You know? I'm down with it.
Time, I suppose.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to start encouraging it. And if they don't want to do it, then I'm not the agent for them. I mean, no disrespect, but...
So at the time of contract saying that you're going to be their agent, that's whenever you're talking about how you would push them through.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, in the qualifying conversation. Yeah. You know, the who, what, where, when, how, why. Let's talk about the how.
Right.
Well, how are you going to apply? How are you going to be
as long
approved?
as you do that for everybody, I suppose there would be no problem there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Also, good morning, Mom.
Oh,
Mom says, good
Mama
morning.
Cram.
Yeah. This land deal, for me, my learning moment, is this land deal keeps throwing me for...
Now what?
She messaged yesterday and she said we need an extension. Their financing, as far as like everything on their end, is fine, except for the bank will not let them close without permits. So they don't know what the holdup is. So I had no idea that this was even because we've been talking to her the whole time, like how's the loan process going? How's everything? We had to extend one time due to a low appraisal, but past that, I mean, they're like, yeah, everything is good to go. We should close on time. No problem, no problem, no problem.
Yeah.
And then yesterday, she sends me the message that says, hey, we got a problem. The bank is not letting us close without permits. And I'm like,
How is that? Like, why didn't that come up sooner?
I don't know.
Weird.
Yeah, or maybe she didn't know. I mean, this agent literally does hundreds of deals. She works directly for a builder, so she does hundreds of land deals a year, and this is apparently a new one for her too. So, I don't know. I got to get to the bottom of it, but...
Interesting.
Land should just really...
It's different.
It's very different. Different questions to ask. Good morning, Vicky. Yeah. What else did you learn this week?
That was my big takeaway.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's other stuff, but that was just my big one. Because there's nothing worse than feeling like you're wasting time. It's the one thing we can't get back. Can't speed it up, can't slow it down.
I don't know. I feel like whenever you get older, you start to feel like it's slowing, like it's whatever you call that. It's speeding up. Like, you remember whenever you were a kid and everything felt like it was like a minute took a lot longer than it takes whenever you're an adult?
No, but quite literally, you cannot speed up time. That's like if you're running late at the gym, right? And you got to get in 35 minutes of cardio. You can go faster on cardio and burn more calories, but your time isn't going to go any faster.
Yeah.
You literally can't speed up time.
I don't know. Quantum mechanics. Perhaps we can. We just don't know how yet.
Somebody will figure it out.
Somebody will figure it out. It's true. Learning moment 2 for me was HOA violations can still come back to bite you in the behind even after settlement. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know why I've never paid attention to it before, but why? Oh, and I guess it's HOA dependent too. But why are HOAs so expensive whenever they want to re-inspect something? I'm like, I literally just sent y'all photos of everything that you said was wrong. Why can't you just clear it and keep it moving? but they want to
Why
charge.
are they so expensive to
They're
re-inspect? They're charging for
Okay, so this is not just me. I was
No,
like, I've
that's
never had
not-
a re-inspection charge before.
No.
Bethany sent me a message. She's like, hey, the re-inspection fee is $160 charged
No.
to the seller. I'm like, what the hell for?
That's absurd.
Right. So I was like, and for them to tell me what? No, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Usually they just accept the photos submitted.
Yeah, that's what I thought would happen, but that is not what happened. So
What's the HOA fee on this property? Is it monthly?
nothing. It's
Oh,
like
wow.
it's quarterly.
Oh,
They
wow.
have like basically zero amenities out there. Except for
That's
your
probably why they're
typicals.
charging for re-inspection
Re-inspection
fee, because they're
fees.
not collecting any coins.
Yeah, this was also the hardest HOA inspection that I had ever gone through. It was like because they had switched over management companies 2 years
Yeah.
prior, and so nothing was on record from what was approved previously.
Yeah. Hey,
So
Sabrina.
we had to, hi, honey bunny. We had to go through the full approval process with a lot of stuff, which was
Jeez.
crazy because it was right before settlement. We ended up escrowing some money just to make sure everything was done, but we still haven't gotten everything cleared because I'm like, I don't want to send them out there for a reinspection yet if it's not going to get
Yeah.
cleared. Like, what would be the freaking point of that? If they
Yeah.
come back, I'm like, oh, surprise, I
Right.
will lose my mind.
All right. You're
Anyway.
like, oh, you owe us another $160 for another re-inspection.
Yeah, so
No.
HOAs, they're great for keeping your properties beautiful and all that jazz, but for this kind of stuff, sucks.
Yeah. That's why some people have such mixed feelings. Like, some people refuse to live in a community that has
You're
an
not
HOA.
going to tell me what I can and cannot do
Yeah.
inside of my...
And usually it's the quarter one.
Because Jen wants to wear a mask and Nicole doesn't.
Yeah.
That's really why. No, I went to a concert last night and Jen is more comfortable wearing a mask. So that is what we are doing. Let's see, where are we at?
You two are usually twinsies.
Indeed.
Yeah, some people refuse to live with an HOA, and some people will only live with an HOA. It's very like, yeah,
Yeah.
fair. Oh, I thought I said fart. I was like,
Mm,
oh, Sabrina.
yeah.
Fair, yeah.
Yeah. So market update. Jen's got that one today.
Just that owners of investment properties, in my experience, what I'm seeing with, working with buyers right now, owners of investment properties, they're selling to see if they get the price that they want. And if not, they'll rent it for a high amount because rentals are just as hard to come by and secure as it is buying. So, they can drive up rent price. Hell, I just set a new comp in my building of an absurd rental price. Happy for my landlords and super happy for the tenant because he loves the building and loves the unit. But Squirrel, yeah, so they're able to, if they can get the sales price they want, awesome. But if it sits for a little bit, they'll take it off and rent it for a high price. So there's just like no pressure. It's like
No pressure.
pressure-free
doesn't.
selling. Oh, I should put that in the marketing.
There you go. Pressure-free selling. Do what you want.
Yeah.
No one cares.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. So, yeah, we're gonna write today. One of our buyers is gonna write on one of these situations today, and we'll see if we get it. TBD.
There's rentals in here?
No, it's a sale right now, but he will rent it.
That's lovely. Oh, so you're not writing on the Watermans?
Yes,
Oh.
it's a sale
I'm confused. You said he.
because the owner is a he.
I'm very confused. Oh, yes. Okay. Just kidding.
If he doesn't accept our offer,
He will rent it. I got it. I was like, what? Your client's a woman. I'm so confused. What is happening?
Yeah, she does identify as a woman. And she, oh, she's
Yeah.
so funny too. She
Yeah.
is so funny. She's 6 hours behind in Hawaii,
I love that.
but she starts her day at 4 a.m. So I'm like, this is perfect.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's like 4 and 8. Did you say 4 hours behind?
6 hours.
God. Guys, I was up really late last night. We didn't leave until 11, and then we didn't get home until after midnight. So I am tired.
Thanks.
Yeah. But life is good. And I keep rubbing my poor little eyes.
Oh
I
God.
know everything. Yeah. Well,
Any market updates from you? Anything you see
not
going
really. I
on?
mean, with the same thing we keep saying the exact, like all the time. Over and over and over and over and over again for the last month. The market has been weird, but in some places it's still very, very hot. I do think that things are starting to pick up a little bit, though. Just as we thought they would, just as a typical market. So depending on what will happen with COVID, and if everything shuts down, obviously that can throw a wrench. But I anticipate that the market is going to speed right back up, not to where it was pre, a month ago, because that was just absurd. But like a typical, Take 7 days to sell your house. Likely have multiple offers if it's presented appropriately. If you're in a certain price point, luxury market's still going to be a little bit slow, but we're in PCS season, so
Yeah.
I think it'll be good. What's Sabrina say? I have a friend who applied. Wait, I have a friend who applied offers to 33 properties, and she finally got one by offering 100,000 over asking. She's not here, is she, Sabrina? Where is she?
That's disgusting.
Right. I'm like, that sounds like California, or I mean, that could have been here if she is an investor.
Right. I'm like, at a
Yeah.
lower price point to go
Yeah.
up?
Because we've seen some, like, pricing is an art whenever it comes to a lot of this stuff. So if you price super aggressively, you'll have to weed out the people who actually think that's the price that you want. But it's a way to get people to price this. She just don't know.
Friend of a friend.
Huh, interesting. I'll have to.
33.
Yeah. Well, I hope that's not right now. That certainly sounds like some California or Seattle or any of these really crazy metro areas. But
It's insane.
yeah, I mean, we were writing 10 plus in the height of all this craziness. But I think I would just stop. Like, I'd be like,
As a buyer.
I
A
would
lot of them
just,
did.
yeah. I'm like, no, I'm gonna go rent a house or something. I'm gonna go live with my folks. I don't care. Literally anywhere else but here.
Stack coins, yeah.
That's crazy.
Whew.
Yeah.
Or DC.
Yeah, well, my story has little to do with clients this week and just really myself. So yesterday I spoke at the county. It's the first time I've ever spoken at the county, and it was a very interesting experience because we have a lot of interesting things happening in our community right now where everybody has differing opinions. So there has been a multitude of people going. I mean, yesterday we probably had 20 people speak from both sides of the conversation. But being in there in front of the county supervisors and listening to the general public, it's wild. Like, it's completely wild. I mean, there was everybody in there. Like, I think my favorite thing that I heard yesterday was from a lady who basically said we were all like devils and possessed. And like, I think she was actually like
People are crazy.
People are actually crazy. And they got up there, and I'm just like, I cannot believe this is even happening. Like, how do you not have the authority to, not authority, but like, I feel uncomfortable right now because they don't do checks. Like, they don't do weapon checks. You're not walking through a metal detector whenever you're coming into the county. So if you have people who are literally in there angry, like when I tell you that this is stuff that I saw on Instagram, like you would think that you saw on Instagram, I was like giving the play-by-play to some friends yesterday while I was in there. I was like, I can't believe this is happening right now. It's like, this woman is absolutely out of touch with reality. Like, she was literally cussing, yelling at one of the supervisors for her district, talking about like she's sending the cops to their house and just like lunacy. But it's public comment time, so you can't say anything. But I felt like a true community activist yesterday because it's the first time I've ever spoken before the county. I've written letters and, made phone calls and sent texts and all that kind of stuff. But wait, what did Vicky say? And let's see, Will said, or DC, and Vicky said, and now I'm in an apartment and sold my house. Haha, I'll buy again in 4 years. Yeah, Florida was a little bit different market. I mean, obviously we don't live down there and we don't know it, but it was definitely a little bit different depending on where you were. I don't think your stuff, unless you were in like Miami or any of the crazy metro areas, it wasn't as bad as in some places. But you probably made the right decision. You made the right decision for where you were. But back to the county. Yeah.
I couldn't have done it.
It was. I mean, it was.
Got up and left.
It was quite humorous because she wasn't the only. That crazy lady was not the only crazy lady. There was also several other people. I was surprised to hear religion got brought into a lot of stuff. She said if you're the crazy lady. She said if you're a Democrat, you do the work of the devil. If you call yourself a reverend, and you're a Democrat, you're a liar. Like, there was just like, and mind you, Prince William County is the majority Democratic county, right? And I'm like, my politics are aside, but I was like, whenever you're in there, like, why can't you speak? I don't know what the word would be, but it was very uncomfortable for right, because you have 3 minutes to speak. But anyway, the point to any of this is to, if you don't like something in your community, go out there and actually, be an activist, push for it, have a conversation. If you're not comfortable speaking in front of people, then write the letters. It was a rewarding experience, even though there was some wild things happening yesterday in that room. Anyhow.
Wild sounds like an understatement.
Yeah.
Straight
crazy. Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna go back here with some popcorn just to.
I would have straight walked out.
Just to watch.
I don't have the brain power, the energy to, because it's an energy suck to a level. Like having to experience someone or being in that environment with somebody who is that
Passionate.
that shit. Like, excuse my language, but like that's a
Right.
whole nother level.
Yeah.
A whole nother level.
Yeah. And one of the
I don't like
supervisors got really and rightfully so. They were voting on something yesterday, and one of the supervisors is really upset because the organization that they're supporting has said some not great remarks to her being a female and some other things, and so like she let it all the tea fly. I'm like, yo, I feel like I am watching Bravo right now. This is the best. But public service, my hats go off to you guys because I don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
It's just because you're basically a complaint form for the entire county, and I'm like, you just have to feel like I'm just gonna listen, and there's kernels of truth to most of this, so we just gotta try to weed through it and do the best for your population in your county.
That's true.
Anyways, love you all for being elected officials. Not it.
Tag, you're it.
Tag, you're it.
Oh. Well, I mean, to wrap up my client story, it's just the reminder to always support your sellers to protect their investment, right? So I've got somebody who we were heavily considering selling their property in a really, really great area, as far as like being able to push price, knowing that we're going to get offers before it even hits the market. Like it literally, that's a pocket. That's like a no-brainer. But before we talked about selling, we talked about renting it because she could do the same thing. Well, they, husband and wife. And so after a little bit of back and forth, we decided that renting is going to be the way to go, and that way they keep their investment.
Good for them.
This will be her second rental property. Hubby has one, so the two of them together have three rental properties.
Awesome.
And then they'll buy their big, beautiful baby together.
The big, beautiful baby.
And she's so cute. She's like, well, what does this do for you? And what does this mean for your commission? I was like, stop it. The business comes. Like, that is not even, I love anybody who can even slow down to think about how we continue to function and live and, you know, make a living for ourselves and what we do. But at the end of the day, it's all about...
Truly, we are fiduciaries, and our responsibility is to you and what you need.
Yeah.
It's not to ourselves and what we get paid. So
all that commission, bro.
Yeah,
I told her that.
And nobody wants to work with a thirsty agent anyway. I'm like, I can't even tell you the last time I looked at the commission at the bottom of the page. It's like the only time we look at it is whenever we're putting in our command stuff to be able to get paid at the end for compliance.
Double check it.
Yeah, I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Sometimes there's a hiccup.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a little hiccup. You're like, but I thought it was. Oh, MLS says.
Aretha was there yesterday too. She just said, "Good morning, lovely ladies. I too attended the public forum virtually, and it was appalling to see and hear all the comments. Girl, yes.
Oh, I can only imagine Aretha.
Oh my God, she was on Zoom.
Yeah.
So Nisha
I can just see her sitting at her little desk
oh
like, my poor little Brooklyn just bouncing around the apartment like, what's going on, Mom? What's going on?
I know, it was crazy. I'm like, why can't we just stop this lunacy? This is absolutely insanity. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it because as soon as they release it, I'm gonna cut down the video so I can show y'all. It's like, this is what it's like to be in the county, guys. Nuts. But I really wish that they did security checks of you know, at least walking through metal detectors and all of that, because there's a lot of very passionate people, especially at this level of the county. So anyways, thank you, Aretha, for being a community activist and stating your opinion in a respectful and beautiful way. Love you for that. Anyway.
That's feedback, though, to give the county about the...
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. It's like,
listen.
hey, this is like, yesterday was not great. There was a cop sitting there, like, whenever you walk in, but that's like, but you're not like, okay, so back in South Carolina, you don't walk into the courthouse without, like, you were going through metal detectors, and that's how it feels in Fairfax County, too. Like, it's a huge line. Like, we're going in there without all of this happening, but apparently they don't think the Board of Supervisors pose that big of a risk. I don't know. But either way, we should send that as a note saying that we would much rather prefer our safety whenever during public comment time, especially for our supervisors. My God, there's so much passion in there. It's not like they're sitting behind bulletproof glass. They're sitting at a podium type situation. Anyway. Well, that's all we got, folks. Today is a big day in the world of Easton Ivy because it is our beloved director of marketing's birthday celebration. So we are going to be off the grid in about an hour and a half or so. So anyway, we love
Gotta get
you
some work done before that.
for sure. If you see us on the boat today, holler. But we love you. We'll see you next week. Bye now.
Bye.